What it is, of course, taking the security class this semester, and I've been thinking about building a machine to use the server anyway. Well, we were doing some of the audits in the security class, and Coffee decided to blow my machine up. So I figured, well, I'm looking to build a machine to use the server anyway. I should probably, just go to the egg and build a little machine. So I go and I build it, and then everybody gets curious about when I bring in this little bitty box, which I'll set over here for everybody to take a gander at later. Very handy for carrying back and forth to class, and should be very easy to get out of the way for use as a server. Got dual gigabit NICs in it, and I put an i3 in it at 3.4 gigahertz, 1 terabyte hard drive, and 4 gig of RAM. It actually has a mini. Huh?
What kind of RAM?
It's
DDR3.
Yes.
12800.
Let's see, it's DDR3. I don't remember the exact speed on it because I didn't exactly go for fast RAM.
Okay.
So,
it came as a kit kind of thing, right?
it's a bare bones kit off the egg.
Okay.
Probably 10600.
What was the form factor called on it?
Well, it's just listed as a bookshelf PC,
Oh, okay.
as a bookshelf kit.
So it's a micro.
I believe it's a micro ITX, yeah. So, now at the moment, I happen to have a fairly fresh cross Linux from scratch build on it. So I'll give you a timer between the time it actually starts loading the operating system, and I'll let you know when when it starts to bring up the Ethernet. I don't have that connected right now, so it's going to stall on bringing up DHCP. But and the operating system is now up, just waiting for DHCP. And while I have this up, I'll show a little bit about the cross LFS stuff as well. What that is everything running on this machine I built from source code. No pre-built bins are running on this computer at all. All native 64-bit code, built from source, and actually I think I have all the source packages still on this machine too. So I don't have any benchmarking utilities on it. I actually originally had a Windows 7 install because the thing I was going to need it for class. And it's not necessarily a big flashy machine, but it's tiny and absolutely quiet. This particular case, when I was reading up on it, a lot of people were mounting it to the back of the monitor to basically make their own all-in-one. I was actually looking at Shuttle's website looking for updated drivers or anything like that I needed. And their intention for people using this particular package is to use it for digital signage. For stuff like the menus down lower Powell and stuff like that. It's just that you put the machine out of the way somewhere, and there it is. So, which is going to be perfect for what I ultimately intend to use it for. I'll show you some of the.
That's how.
If I can type straight. Okay. There's some of the processor specs for you. What's currently.
Three-letter words that don't make sense.
Well, let's see. And actually, there's something that might make a little more sense for you. It's Intel Sandy Bridge i3 at 3.4 gigahertz, which I have it. I mean, this thing runs very cool and very quiet. Generally, can't even hear it until I did a burn-in test on it, and there it got up to 70 degrees. So, then you could actually hear it, but it's got USB 2 along the front, and it's got a couple of USB 3 ports on the back that I'm planning on using for hard drive space.
How much hard drive space do you think you'll need? You've got a 1 terabyte hard drive.
I've got a 1 terabyte in it for the system, and the operating system itself probably will not require that. but I plan on using this as a media server. So I'm going to need a whole bunch of drive space to serve up the media.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Or for whatever media it is, you know. So, let's see. So, one more thing I do want to show you here too. Now, just doing a disk free on this, it's going to give you a very bloated amount of disk space used for the operating system. That's because I've got 4 copies of the operating system on this drive at this time.
Why?
I contribute to the book. The Cross-LFS system is just a book to tell you how to build the system. And I'm one of the contributors to maintaining that book and updating it. So I've got 3 or 4 other copies of the system up. I've got this one that I'm actually using, that I used for an initial draft of some of the IP tables instructions. Well, I also need to do a test for a multi-lib build where you've got 32-bit and 64-bit libraries. So I've got an install for that. And then I missed some stuff on the initial install, so I had to do another pure build to get the rest of the instructions. Let's see. Oh, okay. Just a moment. Invalid argument. Let me try this again. If that didn't work, okay. We'll just log in direct. Okay. Yeah.
What do you mean by no mail?
Uh, Yeah, no local mail. That actually has support. A Linux system actually is designed so that it has its own mailbox for any user that logs in. And what that's monitoring is that box. So it says there's no email pending for that user logged in on that system. Originally, the way email worked was it used those local logins. And that's where your email box was. So instead of being user at whatever domain, it was user at whatever computer. And the email was sent to that computer. So you pick it up locally. Let's see.
Like actual mail.
Yeah. There's an idea. The top entry there, the CLFS multilib, that is a package of a raw multilib build ready to boot that I'm using for testing. 433 meg compressed, and this may take a moment. This is a complete Linux system with a full build chain and not even stripped or anything like that. It's ready to go. And there's 2.4 gig with all the extra junk. Somebody could very easily strip that down to even less than that and still have a fully functional system. You know, when you're building a CLFS box like this, the operating system, that's about how much space it's requiring. Everything else is extra software. So I'm not going to use, I have a 1 terabyte drive in this. I don't anticipate ever coming close to actually using that. I have a similar system set up at the house on a 500 gig drive of that. And that's with Samba, all the frills. It's actually a production system like I plan on using this. And I think I've used about maybe 100 gig of the system drive on that system. So
You said that you're going to be using it as a media server.
Yes.
Do you have any programs or anything that you would use it for? You would use?
The software I plan on using for that is Servio. Yeah, it's Java based and just runs in the console like that.
Since you created this, will it be harder to take the source code and manipulate it?
To actually build everything. There is a little bit more involved with the actual build because once you've gone through the book, you don't even have a way of downloading software. So you have to actually build and install every library and all that. It's what we with the book call dependency hell. But once you get through that for the first set of stuff you want, it gets easier. The more stuff you get installed, the more shared libraries there are, so the less you actually have to go back and redo. So. Yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut this down and bring it over to a table. And I'm going to crack the case on this. I've had a lot of people ask me about what's inside. So and let you get a good look at the case itself.